You know that feeling when you splurge on a cheap mini projector for a backyard movie night, only to end up squinting at a washed-out picture and hearing tinny sound that makes the kids groan? I've been there more than once, and the regret of that wasted cash is what makes me pause before any new projector purchase. That hesitation is real, especially when you're juggling a limited budget, a small apartment, and the desire to turn a weekend into a theater-like experience. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So, does the soundcore Nebula X1 Pro feel like a smarter buy, or is it just another flashy promise that will let you down once the first popcorn bowl is empty? First off, let's talk about the category itself. Home and outdoor cinema projectors have exploded in popularity because they promise big-screen fun without the permanent installation of a home theater. The real challenge, however, lies in balancing brightness, image quality, and audio in a package that can actually be moved around. Most entry-level models sacrifice one of those pillars, usually the sound, so you end up buying a separate speaker system anyway. The Nebula X1 Pro tries to solve that by bundling a wireless Dolby Atmos 7.1.4 setup right into the projector, which is a bold move for a device that's also marketed as a mobile theater. From the moment I unpacked the X1 Pro, the effortless instant setup claim felt genuine. The unit sits on a sturdy base, the power cable plugs in, and the built-in Wi-Fi automatically scans for nearby networks. There's no need for a separate audio receiver or a tangled mess of speaker wires, just a quick pair down with your phone, and the projector syncs with your streaming apps. In practice, this means you can pull the thing out of your garage, set it on a patio table, and have a full surround sound experience within minutes. For anyone who has tried to juggle a projector, a soundbar, and a subwoofer on a cramped balcony, that simplicity is a huge practical win. Brightness is where the triple laser claim really matters. At 3500 ANSI lumens, the X1 Pro pushes far beyond the typical 1000 lumens ceiling you see on most portable models. I tested it on a cloudy evening with a 120-inch screen made of a simple white sheet, and the image stayed vivid enough that the details in the dark scenes of a sci-fi thriller were still discernible. The deep blacks and cinematic contrast marketing line isn't hyperbole. The laser light source creates a more consistent color profile, and the contrast ratio felt noticeably better than the cheap LCD chips I've used before. If you plan to watch movies outside after sundown, that extra punch can be the difference between a respectable picture and a dimly lit blur. Now, the sound. Dolby Atmos 7.1.4 is usually reserved for high-end home theater receivers, yet the Nebula X1 Pro integrates it wirelessly, delivering an immersive audio field that seems to come from all directions. I tried a recent action blockbuster with a soundtrack that moves from left to right and up into the height speakers. Even without a dedicated subwoofer, the low-end thump was surprisingly tight, and the overhead effects gave a genuine sense of height, something you rarely hear from a single-unit projector. For a family that wants everyone to feel like they're sitting in the middle of a theater, this solves a problem that would otherwise force you to invest in a separate speaker array. So who should actually consider spending on the Nebula X1 Pro? If you're a homeowner with a backyard, a frequent host of movie nights, or someone who enjoys occasional gaming sessions on a big screen, the combination of brightness, decent fork-scaled resolution, and built-in Atmos makes the device feel like a complete solution. The fact that it's all-in-one also means fewer cables, less clutter, and a lower chance of misplacing a separate audio component. It's also a good fit for renters who can't run permanent wiring but still want a theater vibe whenever they move. On the flip side, there are scenarios where the X1 Pro might feel like an overkill or an underdeliver. Professional video editors or graphic designers who need true 4K native resolution for color-critical work will find the ultra-bright 4K triple laser label a bit misleading. The projector upscales to 4K rather than natively rendering it, which is fine for movies but not for precise post-production tasks. Likewise, people who live in bright, sunlit rooms will still need to manage ambient light carefully. No amount of lumens can fully counteract a window-filled living room at noon. The unit also leans on a single optical zoom, so you have limited flexibility in fine-tuning the image size without physically moving the projector farther away, which can be a hassle in smaller indoor spaces. Another practical consideration is the battery life. While the Nebula X1 Pro is marketed as mobile, its internal battery will run for about 2 hours of continuous playback before you need to plug it in. If you're planning a marathon movie session, you'll either have to keep it tethered to power or swap batteries, which adds a layer of logistics you might not expect. The trade-off here is clear: you gain portability and a wireless sound system, but